Welcome to the Ambitious as Fuck podcast, where we have raw conversation about staying motivated and ambitious while facing real life challenges. Success doesn't just happen, you have to work hard, fall, and keep getting up regardless of the obstacles. If settling or giving up is not your style, stick around for this real ass conversation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ambitious AF podcast. I have my friend and bookkeeper, Misa. Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners or watchers?
Yes, Priscilla. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I am Misa Bacon, and I'm the founder and CEO of Perfectly Kept Books. I am a bookkeeper, and that's what I do. It's what I love to do. It's why Priscilla and I connected.
Thanks for coming on the show, Misa. I'm actually really excited to have you here because not only have we been working together for, I want to say we're like 4 years maybe now.
Yeah, something close to it. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and what happened is I met you actually through Serena, the ambitious bookkeeper somehow. And it was really cool because Serena was on the show before as well. And I remember it was so funny because I remember she said she was hiding in the closet to record. Tell me a little bit about that connection because that's how I found out about you.
Yes. So I came across Serena back when I was starting my business back in 2020. And me being who I am, I was doing all the research, all the things, trying to figure out what I want to do, how should I do this and that. And I came across Serena. So then I just went into a deep dive and I was like, oh, let me soak up all her content. Because I was like, oh, people who want to leave corporate and start a business, a bookkeeping business. Perfect. So that's how I got connected to Serena. And then I went through her program to get started and jumpstart things. And then I've just been going ever since. Yeah.
And so I love that because her name is Ambitious Bookkeeper, right? And so there's just to confirm that you just attract your people, right?
Yes.
And so being precise sometimes with your name and stuff on your business or whatever, how did you come up with Perfectly Kept Books? That's free.
Okay, so look, I didn't want to be like most people, like most bookkeepers, it's like their name, like bookkeeping or their name, something. And I was like, first of all, I didn't really want my name in it because I'm like, if I sell this one day, I don't want my name to go with it. I want it to be something it's mine, but it's separate. And also I tried to be a little clever because it's okay, how can I integrate bookkeeping into the name without saying bookkeeping? And I was like, Perfectly Kept Books. Like, oh, believe me, I was like playing with all types of combinations. And this is the one I landed on. And I was like, yes, this works. And it's perfect because it sticks out. And like when people say that, they're like, yes, that's what's going to happen. Like your book's going to be perfectly kept.
Awesome. And so for the last few years, I remember, before I hired you, one of the things that I hated doing was trying to itemize everything at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year before taxes. Mm-hmm. That was a huge thing for me. And so I think it was finally at that point where there was just so much to keep track of that I was like, I can't do this. Like I need a bookkeeper. And I liked your content. I could see your personality through your content and you just seem like really real and chill. And I love that. And sometimes we get this idea about bookkeepers that you have to be a certain way or you have to be some kind of geek or nerd, whatever. Like, no, people could be regular and do all kinds of jobs. So you're a great example of that. And I know that between my husband and I, like even my husband, I love Misa, she's so cool.
And that was always my goal because I know the perception of bookkeepers and what people typically see and what they think. So I said, I just need to do the opposite of that. It's also my personality as well. Like you start to talk to me, like you're going to see, we're going to laugh, we're going to have a good time. And I think that's important when it comes to talking about finances, which is very personal. It's very intimate. It's very intimidating. And so if we can laugh a little bit while we talk about the hard stuff, I think it makes it a little bit easier. So that's why I do it the way I do it.
So how did you even get into this?
So in corporate, I was working in the accounting department. So accounting was already a part of my world. I love numbers. It just makes sense that I'm going to work with numbers. And the transition, it was just such a natural transition because I can even remember like working in corporate and like saying things like, who is handling these people's books? Because like, how are they double paying things? What is going on? And so I'm like, it just made sense because that's what I do. I manage people's books. I make sure things are getting paid. I make sure that, okay, wait, did you get paid on this invoice? Like all the things that happen in the accounting world, but of course in corporate, it's a whole department and different parts of the department. But with bookkeeping for a small business, like I am all the departments. So I'm helping all around. So for me, I think it's better because I'm like, I don't have to worry about going to so-and-so in this department to get this information. It's just, hey, me and the business owner, we're working together. We're trying to figure things out and make sure that they get what they need, because as small business owners, like we don't always have all the help. We don't always have all the resources. So whatever I can do to help, especially on the financial side, which is important, I want to do that for all the business owners that I work with.
And so is it like you just always knew you wanted to be on your own or what?
So part of me knew I wanted to start a business at some point, but what really clicked for me was working in corporate, doing all the things, trying to climb the ladder, checking off all the stuff that they tell us to do. Go work a job, you can work your way up, you can do this and this. And then I got to a point where they pretty much shut me down when I was trying to go to the next level and get a promotion. And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense, because I had been working at a company for 10 years, moving around different departments. Like I knew the company inside and out. I knew everything. And for them to say, oh, you don't have enough time and seats. And I'm like, 10 years is not enough time? And I'm confused. And then for them to bring someone in from the outside who didn't know anything, and then I had to train them. And I'm like, I don't have enough time or the experience to become a manager, yet I can train this person? Okay. And that's literally when I was like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work. So I ended up leaving that company. This is how it all worked out. So I ended up leaving that company because I was like, nope, they tried to play in my face. I can't do it. So I found another job and I started working there, and it all worked out because I literally started the new job in like November of 2019. And we know what happened early 2020. So it was perfect because the old company, they were like in the events space. No events were happening. So their business was hit so bad. But then I was working for an alcohol distribution company who was doing wonderful, especially in Texas. Like,
Of course.
like we had the best year ever. And it's because everyone was drinking. So it worked out because not only they sent us home, so I'm working from home, but I was really being a supervisor, like for real. Like I had my direct reports and I didn't have anything to do. Like I made sure things got done, and I was like the one that communicated with corporate office and all of that. But I had a lot of time on my hands, especially when I was at home and not commuting and all of that. And I was like, this is a perfect time to start a business. And so that's how I got started. And I actually had the time to do it just because I'm at home all day and I'm not really working terribly hard because I had a team who did most of the work, and I just made sure things were covered and taken care of. So it all worked out perfectly. And I was like, wow, that was like, had it not worked out that way, like I probably would have still been at the other company and killing myself, because when they had to let all these people go and I would have been one of the ones left to do all the work. And I was like, it all worked out. So I'm like, that wasn't how I planned things to go, but it all worked out for me in the end.
Okay, you keep saying it all worked out. Did you feel like it was working out in the moment?
No, because in addition to all of that, so I was also married at the time. And so things were wonderful. Like I'm a big proponent. If you can have a partner to help you do things in life, it makes life easier. And so I was like, okay, I'm starting this business. And then in 2021, because I know the timeline. So 2021, when I put in my official notice to leave, I was like, okay, we had the conversation. Okay, I want to go all in and focus on this and build my business. We were in agreement. My last day working at this company, he comes to me and he's, you know what? I don't think I'm the man for you. And yeah, I don't think we should be together anymore. And I was like, interesting. Because like, all this time that we were together, like I was very supportive. I helped him do what he needed to do to improve and get better and all of that. And I was like, wait, when it was my turn, now you abandoned me a little bit. And so I was like, interesting. So I still quit my job, because they were forcing people back into the office, and I was like, I can't do that. So I still quit. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to have to do what I always do, and I'll figure it out, and I will continue to move forward. And I always say, you know what, like I needed to remove what wasn't working to open up the space for better to come and all the opportunities that lie ahead. So what I ended up doing is I went and worked for Intuit, the makers of QuickBooks. So they have the QuickBooks Live. Part of me was like, I was curious because I was like, how can they do what they do? And also they were offering health insurance. So I was like, hey, as a part-time employee, I was like, okay, this is gonna work. And I learned so much from it. Like it helped me improve some of my processes and how should I do things to make it more efficient. And it was just very interesting to see how they actually operated and then what I could do to like make things better in my business. And then say, okay, I do things this way. So if people are, depending on what people are looking for, they can go there if they want, but they're not gonna get it if they come to me. So it really just helped like nail down how I wanna do things, what I wanna do, because during all that time too, I was like, well, should I be doing like all the services and offering fractional CFO and like all the things? And I was like, I finally came to the conclusion, I'm like, I just wanna do bookkeeping. I don't want to do anything else. I want to focus on this area because it's so important and everything else builds off of it. So I'm like, let me just be a really great bookkeeper. And then if they need more than that, I can have the connections and connect those people to the right resources that they need. And it's just been great ever since. Now, look, I'm at the point now where I'm like, whew, like, okay, I need help and I need because there's so many opportunities out there. And I want to serve my clients, but I also want to make sure I'm putting my voice out there because what I have to say is important. And I think it's also important for the message to come from me because the message isn't going to resonate coming from everybody. And most people in the accounting space are very bland, it's not the best. So I try to bring a little bit of fun and excitement and my personality to it so that when someone hears it, they're like, yes, that's what I needed to hear. That's the information I needed. Oh, I need to come talk to you. Yeah, it's been really fun and cool, but it's also been interesting just because, look, I'm doing this by myself. Like I have a daughter. I'm doing all these things and it's hard.
I do want to ask you about that, but I wanted, because we're talking about how you need help. So like when you actually launched your business, which was 2021, correct?
2020.
Okay. So that was the official launch. How much growth have you seen since then? Because this is now the end of 2025.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the first year, I wasn't making any money because I was just trying to figure things out. But like when I go back and I look at my numbers, I see growth every single year. Like my revenue grows. And I don't mean just like a little bit. It's like it could be 20, 30, 40% growth year over year. And what I noticed, like the greatest growth that I've had is when I started to get help. So like when I hired a copywriter, when I hired a bookkeeper, and this is just some help. Like this isn't like full, this is still me doing some stuff. And like literally it shows in the numbers. And I'm like, wow, yes, I have more expenses because I'm paying for these people to help me, but it also has resulted in more revenue because that means it still frees up some of my time to do other things. Like on the marketing side, I can be consistent with sending emails, with creating new content and putting it out. And those are things that we often put off because we don't have the time for it. Like, what are you gonna focus on the things that, that make money versus you're not gonna focus on your marketing because I don't have time to market. I don't have time to write the emails and blogs and things like that. And so me just having someone else do that so I don't have to think about it has allowed me to stay consistent and always stay top of mind. So like at this point, people reach out to me and I don't do any like hardcore marketing. I show up to events.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Yes.
What is your marketing? What are you doing?
Okay, so typically what I do, so like social media wise, those are all templates. I have templates that are posted because it's bookkeeping. So it's nothing revolutionary. It's bookkeeping. But what I know is how most people operate when they look you up or they're searching for something, they're going to be looking on social media. So my thing is just be active. So it looks like I'm still operating, but I'm like, I don't care about social media. That's not really the thing. Sure, I can find some clients there, but I thought for me, I usually get the clients that come to me the most from doing podcasts. So anytime I've done a podcast, because they can hear me, they can understand how my viewpoint and how I think about things. And then going to events, literally just going in person to event, like networking events, different business events, workshops and things. Because when I start to talk to people, I'm usually the only bookkeeper in the room, one. And if everyone is a business owner, they all need a bookkeeper. So it works out. And then also being connected to organizations here locally where now I'm their go-to person. They're like, if they need someone to help someone with bookkeeping, they'll call me first. Or if they need someone to teach a workshop.
Yeah, because it doesn't even that's awesome that you're doing it locally, because why not? You should be talking to your businesses near you. It makes it more personal like that, right? But here's the cool thing. You're in Texas and I'm in California, and you're still with me. So that just goes to show too, obviously, during the time that we were all connected, everybody was on social media. Now I think people are not on there as much. It's 2020.
Exactly.
We want to be in person. I'm hardly on there. Like I'm trying I'm back on because I'm like, all right, I relaunched the podcast and you get back out there. And but yeah, being in person, nothing compares to that. Yeah, I'm like, God, but we can't take for granted the online networking as well, because you can still benefit from that. So
exactly.
I'm gonna move forward into something that you just did, because I want to keep the train this, like, you were focusing on growth, right? So at some point, when did you hire that first person?
That would have, what is it? It's 2025 now. I want to say it was like maybe the end of 2022, maybe somewhere. It's somewhere in 2022, I believe, is when I hired the first person. And this was someone, they reached out to me and they found me and they reached out to me. And I was like, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's see what I can do, what I can help you. Let's just see. And so in the beginning, they were helping me they did some of the bookkeeping plus doing some copywriting. So it was wonderful. And it was also cool because they weren't sure if they wanted to get into like finance. So I was like, if you want, you can get some practice and see if you like it. And eventually they were like, yeah, I don't really like the bookkeeping stuff, but I love the copywriting stuff. So that's why I was like, okay, let me get a bookkeeper and you can continue doing the copywriting. And for me, it was really cool just because we all work by ourselves, like you're by yourself. And so having someone there to talk about what are your plans? What are you working on? What are your ideas? And just bouncing off ideas. And I think it's just helpful to have a sense of community, because it can be very lonely. And is this idea good? What should I be doing? Just having someone to talk things through. And so since then I'm like, no, I know people are valuable. I am a big believer in supporting people, using their talents for what they are. And that's what I love to do, is to, like, whoever I can help support. I'm like, I want to support you and do that thing. And because it's going to work both ways. It's not just you're doing this for me and that's it. Because if anyone knows me, if I know you do something and I'm like, I'll tell everybody about it. And so it's not just, oh, okay, they're helping me do this and they're doing this work no, they do great work. So if you need this, here's their information. And that's what I like to do as well. Like when I come across people who I like to collect things. So I collect information, I collect people, and then it's, I have this person in my network. I meet someone and they're like, I need this thing. I have somebody for you. Because I like to be that connector as well. Because we don't always do a great job of connecting people. And it's because we all know people. We all have like different people in our network. And sometimes we just need that one person to connect us to the right person. And so I'm like, let me do what I can to try to connect where I can and help someone else along the way. Like they're helping me, I want to help them as well. Yeah, hiring help. And I know it's that thing that most people don't want to do, because I know, believe me, I understand. It's hard because it's not just the people, It's like trusting them to do what you need them to do, making sure that like they're actually providing the help. So it's not it's not hurting you. It's not a hindrance. It's okay. They're actually providing help. And that's the hardest part. In addition to, of course, it's going to cost you something. And that's why something I always talk about is like, when it comes to people, you want to make sure you're getting a return on those people. And if you're not, like you're not, because your numbers will tell you. If you hired someone to do something and your numbers are not growing, something's wrong. Because whatever that person is doing, no matter what it is, they're freeing up your time. So you should have more time to go out there and connect with people, get more clients. And if you're not able to get more revenue in the door, there's definitely a problem.
I agree with that for sure. And so with all of this, Misa, one of the questions that's usually common, and I feel like everyone has it, what the heck is the difference between a bookkeeper and accountant?
Yeah, okay. So all the terms. So an accountant is technically it's just someone with an accounting degree. Technically, that's what it is. And there's different types of accountants. Like you could have a tax accountant who like typically specializes in taxes. And then of course, if it's just an accountant, it's just like someone who has the accounting, like they just have the background. They have the degree, the background. That's really what it is. And then a bookkeeper is typically more specific to like literally keeping the books. So this is the one who's going into your QuickBooks and updating things and keeping it accurate. An accountant can do that. So they can do that, but usually it's more specific to a bookkeeper doing that part. And then most accountants, not always, but most, they will handle taxes or more higher level, like the analysis type of accounting. So if you need someone, when you think fractional CFOs and things like, that's usually where an accountant comes into play. Now, anybody can do anything because like the accounting world is all like intermingled. But usually, like if you're looking for a bookkeeper, usually they're just focused on bookkeeping.
You did a program or two. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so a couple of like really exciting things happened this year. So the first thing that happened is that I was invited to be an advocate for Verizon's Small Business Digital Ready platform. So that was something that was completely unexpected. I don't know. They reached out to me. I don't know what I did or how they decided or how they picked, but it's been great because like now, like I'm on Verizon's radar. They know me, they know my business, and then I've been able to help support and elevate their platform. And then they do the same for me. So like recently I had an article that's on the Verizon website that talks about me, my business growth, and using their platform. So things like that happen. And I say things like that happen because like I have no problem putting myself out there. Like I do all the things. I apply for stuff. I'm just out here doing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because you never know who's like paying attention or who's watching. Because even to this day, I don't know how they picked me. I don't know
you really don't know.
No, I do not know.
And you don't get to ask?
Well, because like they've mentioned it. They're like, yes, we have a process, and they're like, we have things that we look for, and they still never said exactly what it was. But I'm thinking, one, I was a user of the platform. I know I've applied for like the grants sometimes.
Oh, okay. So somehow you got on their radar.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know because I've applied for grants and I get discouraged. And so that's great to know. Hey, don't give up. Sign up for everything. Just do it.
But yes, because you just never know. Like maybe you don't get a grant, but maybe something else can come from that. Maybe you get another opportunity. And I'm like, I haven't won any of their grants. I still apply because you never know. But that's an opportunity that I didn't expect. So it's like now I have like literally Verizon, I'm on their radar and they're a partner of mine. And they also help me to elevate and become more visible. And I'm like, that's really cool. It's stuff like that doesn't just happen every day. And it doesn't happen by accident. I think often, especially as small business owners, we're afraid to just put ourselves out there and do all the things. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I don't care. I'm just going to go out and let people know who I am, what I do, because that's the only way people are going to know you or find out about you. So that's a really cool opportunity that I've had. And it's been great because
what did you get to do with that?
So with them, it's a paid partnership.
So you get paid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Verizon paid me to be an advocate for this program. And pretty much what I did is just, one, help to promote the platform. Part of how I can do that is like when there's events that like Verizon is a sponsor of, or just in general, I would show up, like literally, I would show up to events and I would table the event. You know how you have vendors at tables at events?
Oh.
I would be one of those people, and I would tell people about the platform and share all the things. And I can also like network. So I'm like, hey, I'm a bookkeeper.
That's
I use
awesome.
this. Yeah, it was really cool. And like, I just learned, I had never done anything like that. I'm just out here learning and figuring it out. But it's been really cool. And now I have all these different connections to all these different people because they also have all these partners and people that they work with. So it's been a great way for me to get visibility and connections so that I can continue to grow my business while also helping to support and elevate their platform.
Okay. And then you did another program after that.
Yes. I know. Look, all the things. Yeah,
I know. I was like, whoa, that's a fact. Go single mama.
Hey, look. So I knew I wanted to like actually spend some time working on my business because you know how it goes. Like we get bogged down in it, the day-to-day
shit.
And I was like, okay, I actually want to take the time to work on my business. And I knew for me, the only way I was going to do that is if I was forced to do it. And so I had heard about the Goldman Sachs program. So I heard about it before. I just never applied. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply. I'm like, let me go ahead and apply. Let's see what happens. And so the process is you apply, they interview you, and then they'll let you know whether or not you got in. So I did all of that. And so I did get into the program. And like, I read all the things and I was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it'll take some time to do the work and some meetings. I was not ready. It was like a lot of time and effort and like meeting the deadlines and making sure you turn in things on time because all of this went into whether or not you would finish the program.
Okay.
So it's like for 12 weeks, like there's curriculum one day a week. So we're learning on different topics. And then we're meeting with our growth groups and meeting with our business advisors. So there was a lot happening for like that period of time. And the good thing about it is that, so with this program, like it's a completely free program, which is, I was amazed because I'm like, what you're getting, like people pay a lot of money for this type of knowledge and information because like they're connected with the NYU Stern School of Business. So you're getting like these professors and people who teach this stuff every day. And like being able to just like literally go all the way back, like going back to who is my customer? Let's look at operations. Let's look at finance. I love the finances section, of course. But we went through all of those pieces. And I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I need. I need to do all this. I need to work on this. And at the end, you come up with an action plan to help you guide your next, like, what are you going to do over the next year? So now I have a plan. So I'm like, for 2026, this is what I'm working towards. And I have something like written down in writing that this is what I'm working towards. And so if it's not helping me meet those goals, it's not happening in 2026. And I'm so appreciative of the program just because not only like the program was great itself with all the content, but like we were able to build community.
You said you have something in writing now that you know what you're doing next. So what are you using? Are you using any platform to keep you organized or to put any deadlines on there to actually keep you with that momentum?
Yeah, of course I have all the platforms. So like I have ClickUp. I use ClickUp. It has everything. I have everything in there. That's the only way I keep up with anything.
Is that like a Monday or a Asana? Because I haven't done ClickUp before.
It's like one of those.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then of course I put things on my calendar, like because if it's not on my calendar, I'm not showing up. And then I still have my growth group members. Like we've already talked about it. We're like, hey, we're gonna have our check-in points, making sure everyone is staying on task and accomplishing their goals. So it's like I have all the pieces now, and so now I just have to execute. And I think that's
now you're going to put your due dates of when you're trying to get them done. Okay.
Exactly. And I think that's also where a lot of us as business owners, we get stuck because I know I do it. I like to take in a lot of information. I buy stuff, download stuff, and I consume all this information, but then I don't do anything. And it's the execution part that's actually important. And so that's what 2026 is all about. It's all about execution. I don't need any more programs, training.
No, you don't.
I don't need anything else. Now it's let's execute on the things that I like, the knowledge and the things I've acquired. Let's actually put that stuff into action and practice and then see what happens from there. So yeah, I'm really excited. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you. So what is that next step for Misa? What's your next goals in 2026 besides executing them?
So one of my main things is I definitely want to get my membership. Like I want to get members in my membership. Like,
and tell me about it. What does that do real quick?
Okay. So over the years, I talked to a lot of business owners, and a lot of times they'll say, oh, this sounds great, or this is wonderful. Yes, I need you, but I can't afford you. And I'm like, okay, that's a problem, because why is there not a solution for people who aren't quite ready? Like,
you can't justify an extra income yet. Yes,
exactly. And so I was like, okay, I guess maybe I need to create it. Maybe I need to create the thing. And so I was like, okay, the idea is have a bookkeeping membership. So where people can come, they can pay monthly, annually, whatever the case is. And they can get access to me, a platform with all of my resources in it. And what I like most about it is that I'll host bookkeeping parties, because you have to make it sound fun, and like where people can join and they can just come do their bookkeeping with me. Because the idea is, the problem is most people don't want to do their bookkeeping. Like they just don't want to do it. But
I don't want to look at all those stupid ass spread numbers on the spreadsheet. I have so many things to do. That's not what I want to look at.
Exactly. So to make it a little easier is, okay, just come do it with me. Let's all get on a call and let's do it together. So now as you're doing it, when something comes up, you don't get stuck and you don't give up, because now you can ask me a question. Like, okay, how do I categorize this thing? Like I see this, okay, I went to Office Depot. What do I do with that? You can get the answer.
Right.
And so the goal is to help build people's confidence and also give them some accountability so that when they get to December, their books have been kept up all year. And
thank goodness I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. And then also, I'm also trying to save people some money here. Yeah. Because if you wait until the last minute, or you wait until the end of the year, you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for someone to clean up your books, because now you're definitely not going to want to do it. Like at that point, you're definitely not going to want to do it. And so you're like, okay, here, do this so I can file my taxes. But it's if you've had some level of support to help you along the way, it's going to make it easier. It's going to make it better. And then for me, like, of course, thinking from the business perspective, now I have people that are literally a pipeline of clients that when they're ready, I can convert them over to a monthly client.
Now, here's a question with that. So if you've seen a trend, or if you've even looked for this, approximately how much does someone end up making when they hire you?
Oh my goodness. Now you're going to make me have to go back and run some numbers. No, just because like literally I have seen like the clients that have hired me, when I see like when we look at their numbers, like their businesses grow, like they get more revenue. I literally had a client that like she left, and not because I wasn't doing a good job. It was because her business was growing so much and so fast that she just needed to, because she was having
she probably needed to hire someone internally.
So she wanted, because she needed more, she also needed, on top of the bookkeeping, she needed more strategy and the planning and stuff. And she was having issues with her CPA, that's a whole topic, because I could talk about that all day. But she was just like, I'm at a point where I need someone that can make sure I'm staying on top of stuff, because my business is growing, and her business was growing fast.
Wow.
I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, is this what I'm seeing?
Real?
Exactly. And that's something that I've noticed. Like when clients are taking their bookkeeping serious, and it doesn't even matter if they're doing it or if they hire a bookkeeper. It's just, if they're taking their numbers serious and they're staying on top of the bookkeeping, they're making sure it's getting done, their businesses just grow. Because like I always talk about, like bookkeeping, it's providing you with information, and it's the information you're actually wanting to use to run your business. Because people are always asking questions. Should I do this? Should I do that? Or have you looked at your numbers? And your numbers are going to help to guide those decisions and help you answer some of those questions. And a lot of times once people understand what their numbers are saying and they have a good set of books set up in a way that makes sense, it just makes sense that their business grows because now they understand, okay, if I'm doing this thing, it should bring in more money. Or, oh, this particular service isn't even making money. Like, I don't need to put energy into it. So that's why I'm always talking about do your bookkeeping. I'm like, even if you can't hire a bookkeeper, I'm like, get in there and learn it and do it.
And that's something that, yes, just get a software. Don't do this on a spreadsheet. Link all your accounts to this and then figure out how to categorize it. And that's where this is going to be helpful what you're creating, right? It's all right. Because that's what happened to me. I didn't know how to set it up when I first turned on QuickBooks. I guess you haven't necessarily looked at that. Like, what was the income starting out when they hired you? I'm so curious about that.
Something like I do notice is that, look, you got to just use a software. I use QuickBooks. So I'm like, use whatever you want to use, but use something because it's so cool to go back, pull a report, pull up your historical data and actually see the numbers.
It's helpful. It's so helpful.
Yes.
I've done this, like the year comparisons. Like if I didn't have a software, I'd have to figure that shit out manually. There's a million things I want to find out when I run my reports, which is why I've left certain softwares if they don't have enough reports for me. It's so unfortunate.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started on the reporting because I'm like, I think I need to go talk to all these companies and tell them y'all need to get your reports together.
That's like all the softwares. I'm not even kidding.
It's like the reports are like an after fact. After.
Yeah. What the hell? Why are you giving me this half-assed report?
Yeah, because for me, I get access to all the things, and I'm like, okay, I can't find what I need because they don't have the reporting that I need. It's so frustrating as a bookkeeper to work with some of these softwares. I like QuickBooks. Look, they say stuff all day long, but I'm like, QuickBooks it's good at what it does.
And they keep making it better, I think.
I think so. And I'm like, this is coming from someone who I worked in corporate. We used a software. It was an ERP system called SAP. That system was horrible. It was ugly. It's hard to figure out how to do things.
Or you're just stubborn and you want to do things the hard way. There's no in between if you're not using a software. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, I feel the same because I like to say, if you can use the software from the beginning, just go ahead and do that. I'm like, even if you're not making money but it makes it easier to learn the software, understand what things are, what it means. You can start to track everything. So I'm like, if you don't know what happened to the dollar that you made, is it going to matter when you start making $100,000? Like, just building that muscle and also the habits so that you get used to doing this from the beginning. Because a lot of times people wait. They're like, oh, I'm not making much money. My business isn't really doing nothing right now, so I don't need to worry about it. I'm like, no, you do need to worry about it because if you're not paying attention in year one, how are you going to get to year 3? How are you going to get to year 5? Like, how are you going to get there if you don't even know what's going on from the beginning? Because we spend a lot of time in the beginning just doing stuff. If we're honest, we're just out here doing stuff.
And how many people are saying, yeah, I know I should, I will. And then it just keeps going.
Exactly. And then that's the thing. And then it's okay. Then usually it's something happens when people are like, okay, now it's either something happens with the IRS or the state, depending on where you are. So something happens, you get a letter, you have a bill, something, or you're trying to get something. You're like, oh, I want to apply for this grant, or I want to apply for a loan. I want to apply for something, and they're asking for financials. Like, you want to always be ready because the best example that I always love to talk about is back in 2020, when they were handing out PPP loans. So many businesses, especially small businesses, missed out because they weren't ready.
Oh.
And the business, because that's the thing. All you have to do is apply and provide your financials.
Provide your financials. That's when you get a loan.
Exactly. That's what they want to see. And if you're not ready, you'll miss opportunities like that because they were just they were handing out money at that point. So it's all you had to do was be ready. And a lot of times businesses aren't ready because they don't take the bookkeeping serious because they're like,